Jay Bills from Media Spotlight UK, reunited with Tristan Hamm in the building, with his coach Jacob in the building as well. Firstly, Tristan, it's been a while since I've seen you last, back in January in Leeds.
Yeah.
Obviously making your debut, making an emphatic statement. I mean, obviously months have gone on, and obviously, you know, you had your recent fight with Le'Veon Bell. Like, how's everything for you in general since the last time I saw you?
Oh, it's been great, man. Just been super dialed in, super focused. Right after that win, I just went out, win in my mind. I went out to Alaska, spent some time, came back, reprocessed, and fucking ready to rock again. You know, like just because it went to the decision and there was a loss and I didn't perform how I wanted to in there, it doesn't mean it wasn't a win in my book. So I'm here. I'm ready to come back and put on a serious show. You know, that fight was something else for me mentally. You know, in the ring in the second, third round, I had to think. You know, is this what I'm meant to do? You know. And in the fifth round, I decided, yeah, no, this is what I was made for. And you guys see that came alive in the fifth, and you're about to see it continue on here in Newcastle. So stoked to be here.
And being it like you're his coach, you're one of his coaches. You know, how's it been in training Tristan? Obviously, in lead up to this fight now with Ashley Rak-Su. You know, how's it been the process in taking Tristan under your wing? Obviously with BJ as well, BJ Flores. How's it been for you in terms of training Tristan?
It's been a great experience. Very easy. Tristan's a good listener. I find him, starting to catch on to things that are at the level we're at right now, where you need to be. The last fight, he's used to catapult him into just a different mindset. Experience is a big thing in sports, and when you don't have it, it takes a lot of practice, mental wherewithal, and he's really turned it on in this last camp.
And take me back to your fight with Le'Veon Bell. Like, what did you take away from that fight? Because obviously, a big step up. Obviously Le'Veon Bell being a athlete like yourself. What did you take away from your fight that would lead you on for future fights? Obviously, now you're here for Ashley Rak-Su. What did you take away from it?
Well, I would say that my biggest question that I was asking myself, and y'all probably heard me ask it a lot around here, is like, do I belong here? So, that's something I had to kind of explore on my own inside that ring, and I do belong here. I know that. So that's what's going to be brought out in this fight. Like I said before, say it again, I belong in this sport, and I know I do internally, and we're going to put that on display.
Well, in terms of like you and Ashley Rak-Su, you guys have wasted no time in taking digs at each other. I mean, one of the recent posts I saw was you said about, after I win against you, we can go deep dive into the sea or something, and then try and find your tooth or something like that. I mean, you got him on.
Hunting, baby.
Oh wow! I mean, and he went back on you saying like, if I give you this like left kick, what are you gonna do? Like all the stuff that you've been training for is out the window. Like, how's the dynamic been in terms of like building up this fight? Because I mean, it's been entertaining from both your ends.
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of chill on each other. It's hard to have a lot of build-up when you don't have too much beef, But at the end of the day, he did call me out, and it's going to get heated here in a couple of days, that's for sure, leading into it. I think it's going to be a pretty gnarly fight, honestly. I think he's planning to come forward and really show his explosiveness, and that's just not going to cut it with me. I mean, Le'Veon couldn't hurt me at all. He didn't. I came out of that fight without a single scratch. Go look at the photos. Go look at the videos. Look at the post-fight videos with Fred's videos. I don't have a black eye. He hit me with his hardest shots, and he couldn't hurt me. And that's one of the toughest guys in Misfits and one of the strongest hitters, and he couldn't hurt me. He couldn't scratch me. So there's no way in hell that Ashley's going to do anything, I'll walk his fucking punches down, and that's what everyone's going to see. And I'm sorry it has to be him, because I actually like the guy. He's a good dude.
And of course, like, obviously, you and BJ, like, preparing Tristan for Ashley Rak-Su, like, how more intensified are you building the training? Obviously, Tristan is still new to the scene. How much more are you building him through this camp? Like, what's been different in terms of mentality going into this one?
Just being able to pick certain movements out. Certain guys fight different styles. I think with Ashley, obviously he's very athletic. He's got a lot of speed, and he's very tough, and he's got a gas tank on him. So we've been strategizing on the things to beat Ashley. Not necessarily just only evolving Tristan's skills, but how do we beat this guy? And there's a lot of things that we've worked on in the camp that you're going to see that are going to have Tristan's hand raised at the end of this one.
I mean, of course, with Ashley's record, he's had like opponents like King Kenny, opponents like Anthony Taylor. In terms of like his opponent sort of levels, in terms of who's been facing, for you, obviously now you've seen how he's been fighting. Like, how for you are you going to combat that in terms of putting yourself in a position to be you'd be on top potentially.
Well, he's definitely faced tough opponents, and that shows a little bit of a fearless side of him. But what he's missing is being relentless, and that's something that he isn't able to match when he's in fear. And that's something that I am. Like I am relentless. That's something that a lot of people say about me. It's actually on the back of our shirts today. Fearless, ruthless, relentless, and you kind of need those three things to be, considered a tough guy. And I would consider him he's got a tough mind, but, he kind of falls apart when anybody brings some pressure to him. And I think he's going to feel that immediately. You guys saw that with Anthony Taylor. He fell apart. And then Kenny just was on his back foot the whole time. He didn't throw a single shot. So, of course, he's going to get confident when there's nothing throwing shots back at you. Come on, let's be real. So I think the second he feels these power shots, he's going to be like, oh, shit, and he's going to be expecting me to get gassed, but that's not happening.
A few final things from me. Obviously, the Cruiserweight tournament, you've been part of it. Wanted to get your thoughts as well. How do you see the Cruiserweight tournament happening? Obviously, the next set of rounds, you got Minicon versus Josh Bruckner, and then you got like Mike Edwards versus Le'Veon Bell. From both of your perspectives, how do you see like the tournament ending? And is there anyone from the tournament that you would still want to face after your fight with Ashley?
Yeah, well, for sure, Le'Veon. If Le'Veon wins that tournament, I'm coming back for that belt no matter what either of my coaches say. I'm targeting it. That belt's mine at the end of the day. If I want to fight KSI, he's going to want that belt, and I got to get that belt first. So I'll be making sure to give some pressure to those guys. But I think that, obviously Le'Veon's going to win his next fight. No question about that. It's not even a question. And then Minicon's going to get trashed by Josh. That's no question. And then Josh is going to have some battle. He's going to have a fucking battle with Le'Veon. However, Josh does have the ingredients to beat Le'Veon. He does. Le'Veon isn't as impressive as you guys think. He's tough and he's strong and everything, but with the right potions, you can beat him. And Josh definitely has the right ingredients to beat him. It's just whether or not he will perform that night or not. It's going to be a 50-50 fight, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And your thoughts, Jacob?
I don't really think it as a 50-50 fight, really. Josh is also in the same training camp with BJ and I and Tristan. And I believe he's going to shine in his next fight. And I believe if Le'Veon wins, that he's going to destroy Le'Veon in the finals.
I'm looking forward to a fight with Ashley Rak-Su. It seems like it seems to be a good connection in terms of like fights. Good style of fights, I reckon. Any final words in terms of your opponent Ashley, and then what can we expect for the rest of the week and lead up to Saturday?
All I could say is I told you so, Ashley. A fucking so.
There you go. He said it himself. Tristan, Jacob, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me, and I wish you all the best for fight week.
Thank you, bro.
Pressure.
You.
Oh, wait.